So, navigating through the labyrinthine swamp, you encountered eerie stillness and mysterious ethereal figures, leading you to a barrier of fallen cypress trees blocking your way. Ingenious use of water manipulation helped clear the path, but not before attracting the attention of swamp trolls. The ensuing battle was fierce, but you managed to defeat the trolls, though one of them managed to flee after a brutal fight. As you proceeded, the air grew colder and the swamp's sounds faded, replaced by the flickering of cold blue flames marking your arrival at the Necropolis, the final resting place of many souls throughout Tanzia, overseen by Banzala, the ferryman of souls, this region's god of death. You witnessed spectral figures becoming lights, which drifted towards the ziggurat at the heart of the Tanzid swamplands here, a clear indication of the nature of this site. This mysterious and solemn place, where the boundary between the living and the dead blurs, awaits your exploration and the discovery of its ancient secrets. So, as I bring you back into the game.
It's spooky, y'all.
Nah, not spooky enough.
Meanwhile, trauma. Full immersion therapy for Vellum.
Too many blue flames.
It's all blue flames.
So many flames.
Just fucking someone blindfold Vellum until we can go inside.
He'll be fine for now. He's already got the trauma response.
This is gonna hold his head and put his nose in the flame. Be like, look what you did.
look at it and scorch his face.
Dog, what the fuck?
Bad Vellum, bad.
So,
wow.
Amidst the eerie stillness, as Liska forces him to face his fears, you do notice these signs of life. You can see figures moving with this quiet purpose among the boats. These individuals are dressed in ceremonial garb that marks them as the attendants of the dead. Black, blue robes adorned with intricate totems and symbols, marigold petals woven into the clothing, long feathered headdresses, each wearing skull masks, their faces hidden beneath that grinning visage, and they move with very deliberate, almost ritualistic precision. They wield these two long poles. One of them is fitted with a hook, which they use to navigate the shallow waters, and hooking or unhooking these funerary boats from tangled masses of roots or from each other. The other one appears to have this sort of lantern-like object at its end, and they dip this lantern into the blue flame braziers. The flames cling to it without extinguishing, and they carefully set the retrieved funerary boats alight. You recognise this ritual, Talali. But whether or not you want to divulge that is up to you. But for now, you observe them at performing the solemn duties. It's a sacred place here, where the dead are honoured, their passage into the afterlife marked with deep reverence and care. And you kind of pull your boats ashore and step onto solid ground. A sort of stone pier built out into the swamp itself. The atmosphere is eerie, but you do notice distant sounds of more liveliness, more chattering, more talking, crowds.
Talali's gonna kind of motion to, I guess, we're at the end of the pier, and these guys are kind of more towards the shore, right? Or like the ledge.
Yeah, they're sort of milling around in amidst these large gatherings of clusters of funerary boats. Some of them are more kind of deeper off into the swamp near the tree line, where you can see these large burning pyres of blue flames off in the foggy distance. They're mostly gathered towards the necropolis where most of the boats are, but you can see patches of them milling around.
Tawali's gonna motion like, as Tanzia has gotten bigger, the number of boats has increased, so we no longer have to let the boats rot. We burn them so the ashes can feed the swamp.
Not much different from Arcane. We don't let the flesh of our people rot sitting on cold stone. We burn them, turn them into the finest ash, and for those that can, squeeze them into the tiny little diamonds, often given to beloveds. It's a little different, but similar enough. I like your people.
We do similar things back home.
Kind of quirks an eyebrow.
If I recall them, some are scattered to the winds, or some kept in urns, depending.
Yeah, depending.
It's if you can afford it.
Is Vellum hurt out of character?
No, I'm just trying a new vocal method.
Got it.
Because the
It's-
other one
it's
involved
similar
pushing
to
on
when
my
he's
Adam's apple.
Perfect. I wouldn't do that. It's similar to how he sounded when he was tired or hurt. And I'm like,
It's a bit tricky because I'm doing this and then I'm adding
It'll
a
be
growliness to it.
try to bring a little lower and do that. Tricky.
It's tough because it's new. I'm working on it.
Bardic.
Patrick
yes.
Okay,
No,
this one is derailed.
Nothing like that. Nothing like
Similar
that at
from
all.
where?
We're derailing. Just
Back down.
Onwards to death and horror.
But no, it sounds good. It sounds good. Sorry, just
I like it. I just wanted to make sure because it was close enough to
safer.
being hurt, and I'm like, I was about to remark on it in character. I'm like,
It's tough because I'm also adding some fearful inflections of like, oh shit,
I
there's
like it.
fucking blue
Yep.
fire everywhere. So I'm layering 3 different fucking vocal effects.
Yeah, you hear that screeching of the rails. That's us derailing.
Back on the rails.
Yeah.
Gotcha, to railroad us.
God, I quit.
It's you hear what also sounds like a few barks in the distance, and
What the dog doing?
you notice almost as soon as you stepped on shore on this stone pier, small stray dog emerges from the mist. Its coat is kind of sort of sleek, well kept, despite its apparent free roaming nature. Kind of pads silently across the stone pathway towards Talali. Its eyes kind of
Is
fixed.
it a ghost dog?
No, it is just a sort of sleek black coat, eyes fixed intently on her, and almost without hesitation, it just kind of falls into step beside her, tail wagging slightly as it matches her pace.
I was just gonna very casually reach down, scratch behind his ears, and then just keep walking.
Its leg kind of kicks out from under it. Like the kind of stamping its paw. Oh, I got a ping. 1 second.
Can't wait for it to be like development like, come on, can we get inside? And inside there is more blue fire.
There's only blue fire.
It's all blue fire.
Bonzo.
The walls are filled with walls of blue fire. There's
Every light
spellcasters
source-
constantly casting wall of flame.
Yeah, every light source is blue. It's like, I hate to break it to you, but you fucked. But
It'd be an interesting visit.
yeah, I imagine it would be. At least for him. Like you said, what was it? Immersion therapy?
Immersion therapy, yeah.
Yeah.
A whole lot of it all at once, like being dunked in a bathtub full of spiders.
Yep.
Something like that.
So you make your way towards the necropolis. The full scale of it reveals itself. The path leading up to it is broad, lined with cold blue flames that kind of flicker in blazes on either side. Stone beneath your feet and hooves and tail is ancient, worn smooth by countless generations of feet, yet still solid and strong. To your right, you can see a large stone platform that juts out from the main pathway, its surface kind of bustling with activity. The deep, resonant honk of a creature rumbles through the air, drawing your attention upwards to a large shadow that soars overhead, and kind of momentarily blocking out the faint light of the stars. And you look up to see a colossal pterosaur descending gracefully, its wingspan stretched wide as it lands on a nearby stone platform with the powerful beat of its wings. The creature is massive. Its head its size nearly as tall as a giraffe. Is a long pointed beak, piercing eyes that kind of survey its surroundings with this somewhat sharp intelligence for a creature. And you can see strapped to its back are several large baskets filled with supplies, which you can see a number of workers are here as well. They begin to unload as the creature folds its wings and settles onto the ground. And you can see also another of its form, Triceratops, standing next to a large wooden cart. The creature's three horns and thick bony frill are quite an imposing sight. But it stands calmly, its massive head low as it grazes on the sparse foliage growing at the edge of the stones here. You can see workers here are moving with practiced efficiency, unloading large barrels, crates of food, other goods from the cart. Movements are swift but careful. I also got I completely forgot the ambience.
I'm sorry, the second you said honk, there was only one thing in my mind. Tried so hard.
And got so far.
Now I'm just picturing a giant goose that delivers a bunch of shit.
I mean, if you've ever watched some dinosaur documentaries, you'll know that some large pterosaurs do honk. It's pretty funny.
I know, I understand that they do, but just I've been ruined by Untitled Goose Game. It'll always be that honk whenever I hear honk. So, do we head inside?
So Talali's going to, as she's leaving the group, she's gonna kind of turn around and look at him like, so, do y'all want to be going straight to the temple, or you want to set up shop, a place to rest?
Should probably set up shop, so we have a point we can meet up at if we need to.
He's gonna look to the rest of the group. Like, Liska shrugs.
Sounds like a good idea, honestly. I don't think this everyone else is.
Alright. She's going to start heading towards that one place.
Sure.
That
And-
one place with the do's and the
That
things.
one place. That
So
one,
the
that
path,
place.
yeah. The path kind of leads you past a series of docks, extending into the murky waters of the Tanzan swamplands. Sturdy stone docks are kind of bustling with activity, workers unloading supplies from boats that have travelled down the Tanzan River. Their movements efficient and synchronised as they ferry goods from vessels towards the ziggurat. Beasts of burden are definitely integral to the operation. Triceratops lumber across the docks, pulling carts loaded with heavy crates and barrels, while smaller dinosaurs like hadrosaurs assist in carrying lighter loads. It's just filled with the sound of work here, the creaking of wood, the murmur of voices, the steady thud of crates being set down against stone. Larger vessels crowded with goods including food, drink, textiles, incense, carved totems, all intended for use within the necropolis.
Can't we just set up this tower and there's just gonna be this gleaming, glittering fucking dwarven bit jutting out of the fucking the skyline.
You can see smaller dock holds workers carefully unloading these long, narrow chests bound with iron clasps. And their focused demeanour suggests the importance of their cargo. But as you draw closer into the ziggurat, the pathway itself, you can see that there's a number of entrances towards the base of the ziggurat itself. In all likelihood, the large stairway is probably reserved for ceremony. And you head into. You can follow the foot traffic here. As the pathway begins to slope downwards, leading you into the depths of the necropolis itself. The chatter of the workers around you kind of fades into a low murmur as these structures' towering walls start to enclose you.
Is it like high ceilings kind of deal?
Yeah, very much so.
Cool, there'll be room for the tower then.
High ceilings, blue fire.
Ugh.
But yeah, Talali's gonna lead them to the gilded boats.
All right.
Fancy.
Interests me.
Angus is gonna just be looking around like a distant traveler in a museum, just admiring the statues and the architecture, a pointed interest in the type of stone that they use. He's just really taking it all in, and it seems with this sense of just fascination and admiration.
The entrance looms ahead. Massive yawning archway carved into the stone, flanked by statues of guardians long forgotten. The spectral lights that have guided you thus far seem to disappear into the darkness within, leaving only the cold blue flames to light your way. The path beneath your feet leads downwards, ever deeper into the heart of this sacred place. And as you descend, the sounds of the outside world fades away, replaced by the soft whisper of air, moving through the stone corridors, and the faint, almost imperceptible hum of energy that seems to permeate this ancient hallowed ground. The workers and beasts of burden ahead continue their tasks, seemingly unfazed by the deathly atmosphere. And while you can feel the weight of the necropolis kind of pressing in on all sides, continues to descend more pronounced. The once straightforward path now begins to spiral gradually, curling around itself down into the very heart of this place. The walls grow closer, but the ceiling remains high. And the stone itself seems almost cool to the touch, slick with the dampness of the underground air. Every so often, the spiral pathway kind of opens up to reveal a vast, hollow column at its centre. A vertical tunnel that plunges into the darkness. And as you kind of peer over the edge, you can see familiar swirling essences gliding down from above, down into the abyss below. The very same ones you followed through the swamp now drift slowly, purposefully down the tunnel, kind of disappearing into the shadows far beneath you. And the further you descend, the more pronounced the chill in the air becomes. There's definitely a sense of ancient power in this place. You also notice, as you move deeper into the necropolis, you notice more dogs, more stray dogs, kind of weaving between the carts and legs of other beasts of burden. They're also very well groomed. They carry this certain air of dignity about them. And some of them join alongside Talali, forming this growing entourage that follows close behind.
He's gonna give each of them a little pet.
Yeah.
That goes in. She's gonna speak in Tansian, but she's essentially being like, "Who's a good boy?" It's like, "Who's a good boy? Who's a good dog? Who's a good girl?" But yeah, she's gonna keep walking.
Yeah. You also notice that along the way, the workers and attendants begin to take notice of your group. And one by one, some of them sort of bow very deeply in Talali's direction. Some kind of murmur greetings in the ancient Tosian tongue. Their voices are definitely filled with some sort of reverence, from at least what you can tell, Angus, with your very high passive insight. There's whispers between the natives and pointing as she passes, followed by very confused glances at the strange foreigners that follow in her wake.
Talala's gonna Talala's just gonna give like responses back in her native tongue, kind of give wave, just acknowledgements as they continue on. Like, we're almost there, boys.
Some of them react with almost fangirl smiles, if best way to describe it. As they wave
temple
back,
full of simps.
as they wave back enthusiastically.
I don't even know all about that.
But
You stunned me. I have no retort.
But yeah.
Stunning strike.
Roll con, bitch. Yeah, she's just gonna kind of give casual nods, acknowledgements, and just keep moving forward. She has obviously walked this path before. Like, she knows exactly where she's going.
And you continue to follow your path downwards. That spiral pathway begins to straighten, leading you to a gradually curving tunnel. The air cools sharply, carrying with it this faint scent of earth and stone, mingled with the distant echo of dripping water. The tunnel walls, once narrow and confining, now widen, and the oppressive ceiling rises more into the shadows, giving way to an expansive ancient corridor. And finally, the tunnel opens out into a vast, breathtaking cavern. Its enormity is staggering in scale. You find yourselves standing on a high ledge, overlooking the subterranean city of the Necropolis. The temple capital of the Kingdom of Banzol. This city, the heart of one of the three great kingdoms of the Dojan dynasty, sprawls across the cavern floor and climbs up its walls, each structure seemingly carved directly from the living rock. And dominating the centre of this cavern is an immense ziggurat. Its dark stone surface adorned with intricate carvings depicting scenes of the afterlife, the journey of souls, the guardians of who watch over them. And the steps of the ziggurat rise steeply, leading to an enormous stone skull that crowns the structure. Its hollow eyes glowing with a cold, eerie blue light. The skull, crowned with an elaborate, towering headdress, serves as both a symbol of Banzala, the ferryman of souls, and as a guardian of the sacred city. The light from the skull bathes the ziggurat in this otherworldly glow, casting these long shadows that seem to sort of dance across the ancient stone. The city itself is a marvel of ancient engineering, with terraces and buildings carved into the cavern walls, their facades adorned with elaborate reliefs and symbols. Massive ziggurat-like structures kind of rise from the cavern floor, connected by a labyrinth of networks of stone bridges, stairways, walkways that crisscross the vast space. The entire city appears to be almost one with the stone, like it's grown from the earth itself over millennia. And you can see the subterranean rivers that wind their way through the city as well. Their waters reflected by the faint blue and purple glow of countless lanterns and torches that line the streets and buildings. And they flow from the many waterfalls that cascade down from unseen heights, silvery streams catching the dim light as they tumble into shadowy pools. You hear the sounds of rushing water amidst mingles with the faint murmur of the city below. You also see, branching out from this cavern, numerous tunnels leading into darkness beyond, each one a gateway to other parts of the great city. These tunnels are the arteries of Bansol, seemingly, carrying thin passenger boats that glide silently through the black waters as they navigate this maze of waterways. Operated by these solemn, ornately adorned figures, ferry passengers and goods between the different sections of the city at different caverns, disappearing into the shadowy depths. Despite the vastness of the Necropolis, it's clear that this central cavern is the heart of the city. All paths, all waterways seem to lead here, to the colossal ziggurat, where the subterranean rivers converge. And above that central ziggurat, a colossal column of spectral light descends from the cavern ceiling, its swirling wisps of luminescent energy spiraling down into the temple's depths. It pulses and glows. Seemingly, this is where the souls are drawn to. The entire place here, there is an overwhelming sense of ancient power and reverence. This is where the boundary between life and death is controlled but precariously thin.
Well, I was gonna give them all a second to look. Just give the prerequisite 15 to 20 seconds of just slack-jawed awe, and then she's gonna keep moving.
Yeah.
How much blue fire is around here?
It's sort of
Enough to make you kind of,
where there seems to be more like a religious temple-like structure is where the blue fire is more prevalent. Otherwise, it's mainly just regular, natural orange glow of a fire that sort of lights the city.
Alright, good. Then I can function like a normal human being.
like a normal half orc. Cool.
Like a normal ham.
It sure is a little taken back with the expansiveness of this. Didn't ever mention this in the stories. Okay.
We don't get many outsiders. Not many people brave enough to cross the swamp, let alone come into the temple.
Well, you gotta have a reason to come here.
That is true, but given our track record, either bravery or recklessness. Take your pick.
Or death. And she motions to the giant column of souls.
Or that too.
Wasn't expecting a full town here, but it's a welcome sight.
Banzala was one of our emperors.
Yes.
He was a king in his own right.
Shaman King, if I recall.
Don't sing the theme song, don't sing the theme song. Sorry. I'm having a moment.
Well, he just kind of gives Dejar an appraising look. It's like, you're a scholar about Tanzia?
Yes, I studied a lot of Tanzia's history. I do that a lot before visiting, and also knowing its laws. So I know its cultures, and I can make friends.
That's very smart to do. It looked like you spent a lot of time in the shaman's mantle. You speak a lot to
Yes.
Etsu?
Yes. Communication. It was either through one of the, unless it was really important, which is most of my assignments. That was kind of a rare occasion where I rarely had to send a message to him, but I messed up this assignment this big time, so I'm have to fix the problem.
You should consider yourself very lucky. Not many people can count one of the avatars as their friends.
I am blessed. I hope to continue being so.
Well, he just kind of chuckles and like keeps walking on.
So, the streets of the Necropolis are wide, meticulously maintained, large, square stone cut tiles. Despite the ancient and seemingly solemn atmosphere here, there is a certain liveliness. There's a steady rhythm to the city that kind of speaks of its deep connection to both the living and the dead. The people of Banzol here, the kingdom, dressed in variations of robes and simple attire of dark blue, black, gold, moving with purpose along the streets. Their faces often hidden behind ceremonial masks, cowls, or hoods. You see tall obelisk-like buildings that flank the streets, their stone walls kind of rising high above, sometimes with small balconies draped in dark woven banners that flutter softly in the cool underground breeze. The further you venture into the city as you descend, the more the sounds of life intermingle with the soft echoes of what some might describe like an underworld-like atmosphere. The mutter of voices, the soft clatter of footsteps, the distant sounds of water trickling down from higher canals of the city, all combine to create a soundscape that's both almost vibrant and subdued. But as you know, Talali, in order to access different districts of the city, you need to make use of the waterways. And given your status, your group are provided a toll-free journey through one of them to make way to the Artisans' Quarter. Oh, wait, no. So that would be the Pilgrims District, which is where the Gilded Bones Inn is located. As you navigate the shadowed pathways of the Necropolis, you eventually do find yourself in such a district, characterised by its network of narrow cobblestone streets, which kind of wind between modest yet intricately carved stone buildings. These structures, though simpler than the grand temples and ziggurats elsewhere in the Necropolis, are nonetheless adorned with symbolic carvings and tapestries depicting scenes from the journey of the soul, as it continues, as it seems to travel through the Tanzan River. The flames of nearby braziers gently flicker in the air, the light reflected off polished stone surfaces. It's home. This place is seemingly home to numerous inns, guest houses, communal spaces, each offering, as you know, a blend of comfort and spirituality. Often family run, passed down through generations, they very much pride themselves on not just providing shelter, but a place of solace and reflection. Many of these buildings seem to feature, at least outwardly, small altars where visitors can offer prayer and light incense. You can see small courtyards providing spaces for meditation and prayer. And you can see these quiet sanctuaries are often filled with the scent of marigold petals, and many of them feature small shrines dedicated to the dead and the spirits of the departed. But you eventually find yourself in front of quite an imposing structure, carved directly from the ancient stone of the Necropolis, reflecting the architectural grandeur of Tanzania's ancient traditions. Located near quite another significant ziggurat. Its exterior is adorned with intricate reliefs depicting skeletal figures and ancient glyphs. It's marked by a grand stone archway at sides, engraved with the intertwined forms of serpents and skulls, symbols of protection and reverence here. Tall, slender torches flank the entrance, burning with these cold blue flames that, again, sort of cast that eerie glow. And you can see above the archway a large stone relief of a grinning skull, decorated with gold and obsidian inlays, that watches over the entry. The inn itself is this sort of rectangular, sort of low-lying building with this broad-stepped roof reminiscent of a temple, supported by thick black stone pillars etched with symbols of Banzala. And you all immediately smell these wafting scents of spiced cacao and roasting meat that blends with the cool, damp atmosphere. But you step inside.
Paul is gonna call out, "Hey, Tastic! Where ya be?"
Stepping inside the Gilded Bones Inn, you are enveloped by the warmth of roaring fire pits, surrounded by stone seating areas, plush with hand-woven pillars. That rich scent of spiced stews and freshly baked maize. The interior sort of echoes the grandeur of ancient temples, if a bit more modest. You see low wooden beams carved with patterns, lanterns fashioned from carved obsidian, adorned with colourful feathers that hang from these beams, kind of stone walls lined with shelves holding an array of clay bottles, jugs, woven baskets, all filled with these exotic brews and spices. You see large rectangular black marble tables, sturdy benches, and thick woven mats with very traditional geometric patterns that cover the stone floor. And at the far end of the inn stands a stone counter carved with depictions of ancient warriors and surrounded by a low wall decorated with gold and turquoise inlays. And behind the counter, as you say this, Talali, a skeletal figure tends the bar. His robes of deep purple and black and gold draping elegantly over his skeletal frame, blending seamlessly with the rich colours of the inn. As he turns around, a skeleton greets your view, his bones intricately adorned with swirling patterns of gold filigree that gleam in the firelight. His skull is crowned with a simple yet elegant golden headdress, and his face kind of bears that iconic grin of death. Yet here, there's a strange warmth in his presence that's unmistakable. Welcome to the Gilded Bones. Yeah, he greets. His voice sort of echoes with that hollow yet welcoming tone that you're familiar with. Alali. Now that's a face I've not seen in quite some time. Let me actually give you an image of him.
Oh, you know me, Tastic. Always wandering about. Like business elsewhere.
There you go.
That's a lot of chocolate.
Oh boy.
That's him. You can see the small beady blue flames of his eyes flicker gently. Hey, you've been away far too long, little one. You're off in your trials, but I didn't expect you to be back so soon. And if your mum must be watching over you so closely to have brought you home again.
How Grandma doing, by the way?
Sorry, I missed that.
I said, how is Grandma doing, by the way?
Oh, she be getting on in her years, but she just like her old self.
Well, reason I be back so early, and she motions to the motley crew behind her. Found these folk on the road. They here to go to the temple, speak with Banzala.
Oh. Well, I suppose I can offer you a few rooms if you're willing to. Kind of rubs his skeletal fingers together.
Right. How much
Well, I
is
mean-
for the rooms? Do you speak so?
Oh, two gold pieces for a day. And if you double click the vendor there, you'll see a services tab that you can use.
Oh,
Nice.
that's cool.
Nice.
We can
Nice.
either stay here or make nuisances of ourselves by putting a tower up in the middle of town.
I'd rather we go here.
Let's not anger the
What
locals.
I have no money. Oh right, it's in my.
I have no money. And just kind of look at the
What?
jar. It's like,
Oh right, no, she has so many bags on her. Wait a minute, it's not in this bag. Oh, it's in the other bag.
There's 50 bags.
Wait, where is my money?
He kind of taps his chin as he observes you, Talali. Oh, you look stronger since I last saw you, Talali. There's a new fire in your eyes.
Well, I'm not doing the trials for nothing.
Oh, how have the trials been going, by the way? I imagine Bandale isn't making it easy on you.
No, had to be postponed. And she once again motions to the group. But I'm sure he'll
Blaming
understand.
Of course.
As for the trials themselves, doing okay. Still looking for that big white beast.
What was his name? I think you told me this a few months back.
Oh, fucking dare you, Jenner.
I know you made me remember something.
Technology. Go.
Old Whitey.
Snowjaw. That's the name you're looking for.
Snowjaw, yeah, that's what it was. I had it somewhere in my notes, my Talal notes. Yeah. Oddly enough, there's no quest log in there, but I guess that makes sense.
You're just a guest.
How true you. So yeah, like Snowjaw. Snowjaw be his name, but definitely not a temperament.
Oh, right. That's what you called her. Whispers through the grapevine says that there's been a few sightings of quite a stark white Tyrannosaurus Rex somewhere in the wilds.
Really? Where?
I didn't overhear much of the details.
You're hearing been failing after all these years.
Look, me got no ears, you see. He kind of taps the side of his skull. There's this hollow clack, clack, clack as the flares of his eyes kind of intensify for a moment.
Yeah, Paloli laughs at the obvious joke they've had for a long time. But yeah, and she's gonna look to the group. This be one of the best places to rest your head. Great food, great company. Tastic is an old friend, been here since before I was alive.
I remember you coming in here when you're but just a little girl. So much trouble.
Hey, as little girls want to do. But y'all gonna be resting here? You wanna have some time for I take you up to the temple? What's y'all's timeline like?
We'll be in too much of a hurry.
No, that's time to just chill at least. If I can find the money in my bags, I have too many bags.
The Necropolis been missing out, Talali. Things have been quiet around here lately. Work never stops it, but it'd be good to see a familiar face back at these halls.
Well, these folk be resting their heads and lying about.
Of course.
I'll go visit all my old haunts. Say hi to a few people here and there.
He gives you a nod and says, well, if anything be weighing on your mind, don't hesitate to share it, and whenever you drop by again. I always got time for you, Talali. You notice, you will notice as Taztik is speaking, you hear his voice, but his jaw doesn't move. Rather, the syllables of his words seem to resonate with the pulsating of the blue glow in his eyes.
What the fuck?
Did her trying to open up her money bag? Like, what was that?
Oh no, my sheet was acting so weird.
Oh, I didn't realize I was muted.
Oh, you sure were, buddy?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man,
Oh,
I was
no.
wondering, it's like, man, Angus has been quiet for so long.
Are they so spooked by the skeleton?
While you were saying you couldn't figure out, where the coins were, he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll get it for you for now. You can pay me back later." And he just sets some coins down for you for however much you needed.
All right. So,
And I was just saying, Angus has an idea, but there's just that thought. Magic's probably happening on account of not having any lips or tongue or lungs to speak.
No lungs to speak of.
you also notice, like, right, kind of partially hidden by the slight openness of the rose, where you can see the ribcage, there is this faint pulsating blue light that also seems to pulse in time with the words he speaks. And occasionally you see
that's cool.
this sort of faint tendril of spectral energy kind of moving the fingers as if they were muscles themselves.
A weak
God,
point
that's
stab.
cool. Animated. It'd only be if it was giant floating hands with an eyeball in the middle of them. Nintendo aside, Angus is gonna kind of turn to Lolly. Well, I suppose that's what he gets for telling you he missed your troublemaking. I was curious, before I go off and try and meet the big guy, I never actually got to stop into one of these temples when I was down by the resort. You think you might be able to show me around sometime? I'm seeing as you are a guide after all. He kind of wiggles his mustache, obviously being a little bit coy and silly about it.
Sure, me can. I tell you what, me have gone talk to my grandma, before going to the temple anyway. Sure. Tell you what, like me said, me go stir up all the dust from your old haunts. How about we meet at the bottommost stairs, the temple, and she looks at a non-existent watch on her wrist. About 2 hours.
Hey, that sounds good. Kane comes first. Glad you get to see him again. Had it been anyone else, as he kind of looks around to the skeletons and back to you, I think you're being quite silly on me when you mention stirring up your haunts, but, well...
She gives a very sly smile, like he got the pun. And then she's going to she's gonna give
Lolly,
him like a wink.
Yeah. Are you going to like let them know what's where? Just so they've got something to do for those 2 hours instead of just sitting here in the inn.
Oh, I mean, sure. Like she's gonna give. Well, I mean, I think Tazdik can also. He's a gatekeeper for a reason. But if they have any question, like I guess she will ask that. Like, before me leave, y'all got any questions? Then you ask me.
Here would just like to ask: Is there any magic shops, like scrolls and whatnot?
Oh, there'll be a ton.
Yes. Let me go ahead and.
That and a potion shop. I need to restock.
I'll
So-
take Marcus with you as well.
Yeah, there'll be a bunch. There'll be quite a lot of how you gonna say? With this much concentrated magic, there's bound to be multiple shops that sell it, but also we don't know how you magic folk do your thing, but it might be more focused than you might be used to. but there'll be, let's see, Sablanque's attire, I think, is pretty fine. Your clothes, they got the talisman, sorry, the ivory talisman. They got the glyph shop, got Serpent's Cauldron for your potions, and if you're looking for weapons and more, she kind of reaches forward and wraps a knuckle against Liska's leg. If you're looking for more heavy armors, the Soulfire Forge gonna be a place that you wanna head to.
Time to look for rare metals.
I say you'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Much appreciated.
Y'all happen to be in the Addison's Quarter anyway, so they're out nearby.
Works out then.
We will say one thing. To get to the foot of the temple, you want to, and she's gonna explain real quick how to navigate to the foot of the giant temple.
Yep, gotcha.
Not that it wouldn't be obvious, like, oh hey, there's the blue beam. Just make sure we walk towards it as we're going.
Go to the
down
big
roads.
blue beacon.
Yeah. But just in case you happen to lose your eyesight, now you'll know.
Noted.
Oh, do you have any means of? No, it'll be fine. You'll find your way around the floating bazaar. Anyway, I'm off, and she's going to kind of motion to all the dogs that are around her.
Yeah,
She's gonna
they've all.
leave the-
Many of them have just sort of found their way in here. You know, remarkably well behaved.
You just see Talali rise up very slightly, and then just the dogs carry her out.
Yeah.
It's like onwards.
on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Like,
She doesn't even move or anything. They just lift. Off they go.
just
skittering.
fucking monk shit, you know.
Monks. Fucking monks,
The,
guys.
the renowned dog-based street gangs of
Oh yeah. Right, so we've got the gilded bones there. I guess you've bought your rooms. Very, very comfortable living accommodations. Again, it's not elaborate as say the Crescent Falls Resort was, but it is good comfort food, hot meals, a good comfortable bed to rest in. You can see why Talali recommends it.
2 gold a night is fucking better.
It's actually one of the cheaper ones.
Oh god.
Y'all got the
I mean,
friend
this is
pricing.
like the Kingdom of Gold. So
Hell yeah,
that checks
dude.
out.
Oh,
That nepotism discount.
This ain't even Tectar, so you'll find a lot more expensive stuff there.
Yep. We'll figure out who's bunking with who later in the
yeah.
text chat. But Valm's gonna head off to the market.
All right,
I put some in there, but yeah.
off to the market
This is to
then.
go with.
Um,
I will say, as they're kind of heading towards the market, Liska's gonna kind of slow walk beside Angus since her stride is so much larger than his. Yeah, she's gonna actively slow down, so he doesn't have. Yeah, so he doesn't have to sprint. Angus,
Get my steps in.
that's true. It is very true. I was curious about how is that glaive coming along?
Oh, wonderful you ask, actually. Hold on, and he's taking it out of his bag of holding, and you can see it looks to be about halfway done, covered in deeply carved set marks for runes. There's areas where it's almost like perhaps chalk or something similar that is outlining the parts yet to be carved. There's just the beginnings of it being filled with fine erudite dusts, some areas beginning to sparkle or glow. very much a slow and steady work of progress, but it is just past halfway done. In fact, you could maybe estimate 51% of the way to completion.
A very specific estimate.
Well, she's very specific with measuring weapons. She's a fighter. She would know.
I see that it is about 51% done.
Very good.
Would you mind if I ask what all has been done and what all you plan to do with it?
Oh, of course. The main thing that's actually been done to it is that it's been severely enhanced. I have to do a few more channelings to lock in the magic, but for now it's giving you a significant, how shall I say, bolstering of your strength. It would cut about twice as sharp as any other blade, and say air twice as strongly towards hitting your enemy's weak spots. It's very good at penetrating the armor. It's quite hefty, being that it's adamantine, but once the runes take hold, it will be able to actually have bursts of speed, and for a moment feel light as lightning itself, and strike just as quick. And you move as quick alongside it.
Sounds like a very formidable weapon.
Well, fitting for a very formidable warrior.
Okay. Is there anything that I can do to possibly help in his crafting? I don't know. I mean, you, Velam, Sal, and Dijar, and she kind of like wiggles her fingers like all the creative crafting types, but I would feel somewhat amiss if there is a weapon that is being made for me and I don't have my hand in it somewhat. Is there anything that I can do to help?
To be honest, the only thing I don't have yet is a scroll rune of haste. I'm not sure if that's something that Dajar is knowledgeable to craft. She knows so much, and that's not a spell that I'm able to understand as a cleric. Outside my wheelhouse, so to speak. If you happen to find such a rune, or scroll, I could use either, it'd be very helpful. I have the rest of the ingredients. Aside from that, adamantine's such a horribly tough material. Maybe you could pick up the whole heavy 20-pounder and give it a strike or two, help set the runes in place if you feel like it. That way you can say you helped forged it too.
Sure. I'd be happy to help if you need me to hold something or lift something. I don't know if you know, but I happen to be quite strong. So yes, I will look for this scroll of haste, you see?
A scroll or rune, either works, of haste would be really the last thing I'm missing. Then I just have to finish carving up the runes in place and imbue it, and it'll be done. I've had a few sleepless nights and a few early mornings, but it's coming along well enough. I'm trying to get this to you as quick as possible. I want to make sure, and you can, your sharp hunter eyes would see for a moment his eyeballs flicker towards the back, where you have the Slayer's blade. I want to make sure you're as prepared as possible with something suitably fitting for you. This will only be the first step. To be honest, I have something even greater planned for this. But, you know, baby steps.
Gives like a smile and a nod. Like there's a few more steps of silence, but then she's like, "Oh, also, in a secondary kind of thing, have you given any have you looked at that bloody mouth alcohol, like that double strength potion that double strength drink that they gave you?
I have not, but I've been smelling it.
It's like,
You know, I have been definitely wanting to drink it. It smells pretty good, a little irony, but otherwise well.
I don't actually have one on my sheet.
I thought I gave you one.
I
Can
don't
I link this?
I don't think
How do you link in these sheets? How do you link an item in these sheets?
I don't know.
I just drag one in and modify it.
You can on Tidy5e. I don't think it does it on the default one.
Well, here we go. You know, I'm still learning
Okay,
how
there you
to
go.
actually use a brewing. What's so special about this bloody mouth anyway? Is it something about strength?
I linked it. That's interesting. So if you, sorry to break away slightly from RP, if you click and drag on an item into the chat, it gives a link, and you can just hit enter in it. You can just mouse over it. Anyway, what does it do? Well, I do not know specifically how it works, but it seems to increase. It seems to slow everything down a little bit, if that makes sense. It makes you more able to quickly react to multiple threats. Like I guess it kind of widens your vision and amplifies your body's reactions.
I see. It's like almost like a cat potion.
I guess
You ever
so.
see how fast those things are? I once saw a snow viper go to bite a cat in the face. Fastest strike I've ever seen. Cat was already 3 feet up in the air, above a lad and a half. I wonder if you
Yes,
could
it's-
jump that high with one of these.
Liska just kind of looks at him like, I'm pretty sure I can just jump as high as you normally.
Well, to be fair, all you have to do is lift your leg up, 90 degrees, and the hooves already cleared me, but, splitting hairs here.
But it is just something that I think, because my efficacy in combat hinges on multiple things, and one of them is being able to react to protect other people from their own stupidity.
Alright, listen. Sunshine over there might be bold and a little bit stupid, but... You know what? Okay, never mind. This is a good idea. I don't really know how to brew potions or really work with alcohol yet. But maybe I could talk to Dejan, since she's made some of these. And he holds out a alcoholic potion of greater healing. The strongest, tastiest thing I've ever had. Or can work with her and reverse engineer one of these bloody malice. Maybe even find a way to turn it into a scroll or a rune that might be able to be used. Be expensive as all hell, at least the cost of one of those drinks, but if you ever feel like you're having too much booze in a day, well, you could share with me, but, at least you'll be able to have this as a backup.
Like, well, that is good to know. Yeah, do whatever you want or feel like you need. It was just kind of a curious thing because they are somewhat expensive to buy. But if, could get a steady supply, it would go a long way to allowing me to keep keep more people alive.
Most of us. I'll fix the ones that you can't, okay?
Exactly.
Let me run that by our alchemist. She'll probably be able to get this ball rolling.
So you kind of the artisans' quarter here is accessed. Well, I mean every quarter here, every district here is accessed primarily by waterways, and the artisans' quarter here is with most of the structure sort of built along the banks of wide canals. The buildings here are grand, their facade built into stone, adorned with ornate carvings of tools, crafts, and the symbols of various artisan types. The waterway opens up into a series of interconnected canals, where the sound of hammers, anvils, the hiss of steam, and the rhythmic beat of looms fills the air. This is the domain of the Necropolis's finest craftsmen and artisans. You will see wide stone piers extending from the buildings into the canals, where artisans load and unload materials. These piers serve as sort of docks and workspaces as well, with some craftsmen working directly by the water, shaping wood, stone, metal into items of both beauty and utility, or some of them prefer to work indoors. But regardless, you can see the glow of torch fires can be seen flickering through open doorways. A scent of molten metal mingles with that of rich oiled leather, freshly cut wood.
And Vellum feels a lot better.
So, where would you like to head first?
Magic scrolls.
Scrolls.
Medals.
Alright, glyph. So you're wanting to find Soulfire Forge and glyphs of the ancients. So I won't turn this whole thing into a shopping session. I'll just let you access the vendors here.
Yeah, vendors. Time to see if they got any fancy metal.
Magic, yes.
Mithril. Let's see, any ores? That's where the real money is.
Oh,
Damn,
dear
they
Lord.
only sell bars. Janner's on to me.
So you might find better luck elsewhere in, I think, what's largely called the Floating Bazaar.
Yeah, the bazaar seems like a good place, but this may be, I don't know if it'll turn into a roleplay scene, but Vellum's wants to see if there's been any sign of sun metal about. Or it's not sun metal, star metal, or whatever the fuck it's currently called. I mean, I don't. This is an out of the way place, but it is a relatively central settlement.
Sure. You kind of head in to the Soulfire Forge. You're immediately enveloped by this thick, heady aroma of herbs, incense, something, and weirdly enough, something more arcane. The interior is dimly lit by the green and purple flames from various alchemical contraptions. You can see shelves lined with vials, jars, bottles of strange shapes and sizes, and also these neatly stacked piles of ingots. You can see a massive stone-wrought smelter of sorts. Large ring in the very centre of the chamber, and it is glistening with a roaring blue flame. And standing near the furnace with a hammer in one hand and a glowing piece of metal in the other is a tall, powerful figure. His skin kind of a dark bronze, his muscles kind of rippling with strength from countless years of hard labour. His face is very stern. His hair pulled back into a tight knot. Feathered headdress sits atop his head. marking him as not just a blacksmith, but a master craftsman of sorts.
He's also not a skeleton.
Indeed. He is not a skeleton. And you can see with each strike of his looks like some sort of reinforced stone hammer against a hardened obsidian anvil. There's this spark of blue. The weapon he's forging doesn't seem to glow with this typical orange light, but definitely a spectral blue. Kind of a.
Clearly this is different. Oh, sorry. Continue. I didn't know you were.
Yeah, he kind of looks up as you enter with a. His gaze lingers on you for a hard moment as he continues returning to his work. Ting, ting. Welcome to the Soul Fire Forge. I am a collector. If these weapons or armor you seek, you'll come to the right place. Tink, tink, tink.
You've remarked on the uniqueness of his process. Can I try and suss out the nature of it?
This would be, I'll say, Smith's tools with intelligence, I'd say.
Oh boy, here we go.
But considering you're not proficient with Arcana, I'll say this will be with disadvantage.
Oh man, you already hamstrung me from the start. Nat 1.
It is, you have no idea what the process is here. It is... something odd with the fire?
It's just weird fire.
Yeah, always these
They really like their blue fire here.
Yeah.
But Velen will sort of like peruse
is
the metals. Oh, what was that?
It
Atlas
is
figure.
hotter. Maybe
That's how fire
they're doing
works.
something. Yeah.
Maybe,
We're
who
doing
knows? It's a mystery to me. But yeah, Velen will take a moment to peruse the metals first, just to see what stock he has. And then he knows enough about the process to know when the best time to interject is. Sorry, I'm getting into the fucking voice again. It's tricky to quickly switch. I'm still learning it. If you get a moment, I wanted to ask you something.
Tink, tink. He stops. You see him side eye you for a moment as you kind of look over some of his metals.
Oh, she got a big range here, and I don't know if I look it, but I'm somewhat of a smith myself. I'm always on the lookout for rare metals, and this time I'm looking for something a bit more unique. And I'm wondering if you come across anything like this. And he'll rummage into his bag, and he'll pull out like one of the smaller chunks of the far metal.
He sets down his hammer and the sword he's been working on for a moment, and he makes his way over. There's a look of confusion in his face, and I'm going to have him roll a check.
The look of shock makes me think, no, he hasn't seen this metal before, so no, he doesn't have any. But we'll see how this goes.
As you take it out, it shimmers and shines in the dim light of the forge here. It shines like the sun.
Well, it came from the stars, so wouldn't be surprised if there was some a bit more literal to that. My goal at the moment is to find more of it and work it.
it is. Actually, no, he's just gonna ask you. What is the name of this metal?
Honestly, I don't think it has one. The only thing I've heard it called is star metal because of where it came from, but the nature of it and the feel of it screams more than fun.
That he's
Until
also.
now, I haven't heard of anyone knowing how to work it. So maybe it'll be a first.
He rubs his chin for a moment and kind of wipes the almost sort of scintillating bluish soot from his hand with a nearby cloth. I think I heard something about star metal. Maybe from I think someone in the markets been looking for it, or were looking for it some weeks ago.
Yeah, well, from what I figure, it's got with how rare it is, it's got a lot of value to it. I ran into some folk not long back who were willing to do what they could to get their hands on it.
You know, you'll not be the first to ask me about this type of metal.
Have you heard of anyone managing to work with it yet?
I am afraid not. He kind of
Well,
holds his gaze upon you. Doesn't take a massive insight, a massive passive insight to know that this is a man of very few words. He seems to keep to his word. If that makes sense.
yeah, he's focused. Well, I might get some of your wares while I'm here, but I think I'll head to the market first if that's alright. I'll leave you to your work. Thank you for your time.
He gives you a silent nod, sees you off.
Now pocket the star medal and head off to wherever the markets are.
Alright. The floating bazaar. It's a very vibrant marketplace, unlike any other. The merchants, where merchants trade from ornate boats kind of drifting lazily across the city's largest subterranean rivers. The boats are sort of adorned with intricate carvings of serpent skulls, other symbols sacred to the kingdom of Banzol. You can see glowing lanterns hanging from them, vibrant sails coloured in hues of purples, blues, golds, and blacks. The air here is scent. It is rich with the scent of exotic spices, rare herbs, incense, burning in small braziers. I'll make that vendor available to you.
Hooray! To the bazaar! You.
Overhead, the stone walls of the cavern
Not just me.
rise high, draped in colourful banners that flutter gently. It is a hub of bustling activity here.
Oh my god, this market is fucking huge. This bazaar is massive. Yeah, if anyone wants to do anything, go right ahead. I'm at the moment just gonna look through this, and then maybe I'll try and do some focused searching to see if there's any of the good shit about. Ooh, they've got some platinum ore. Ooh, I can't afford it.
Janet,
Yes.
I'm gonna ask the vendor of
Well, you're very quiet. I've got to take a look.
glyphs and sorry, I was a little far from the mic. I'm gonna ask the vendor from at glyphs of the ancients if they have a cantrip scroll of message in the back.
Right. You
The hunt for the message scroll.
you enter this area. It's here we go. You're immediately struck by the overwhelming sense of age and history that pervades this space. The walls are lined with shelves, each just crammed with scrolls, tomes, ancient manuscripts. The parchment and paper have very clearly seen better days, yellowed with age and covered in meticulous script. You can see various inks, quills, brushes neatly arranged on a long counter at the back of the room. And you see the shopkeeper here, a figure of seemingly ancient wisdom and arcane knowledge. His skin is very deeply wrinkled, almost like ancient parchment itself. And his eyes gleam with this shadowed weariness and oddly, strangely profound understanding. You gather his hair is this wild silver mane that kind of flows down the back of his neck, adorned with various beads and charms. His attire is almost reminiscent of ancient priests. He looks incredibly old, but oddly holds himself high in sort of a dignified manner. And as you ask him, he thinks to himself, "Midnight."
Hello there.
Go ahead.
I'm just happening to see if you have any more cantrip scrolls than what is provided on the shelves.
You are wanting to see the back room somewhere. One moment.
Yes.
And it kind of hobbles off through a beaded, hanging beaded doorway for a moment. You hear a couple of rustles of parchment, followed by a clatter of wood, some sort of box being clumsily open. No, not here, not here. Where is it? Where is it? No. And eventually, you hear him. And he shuffles back through with hands sort of quaking a bit, and he brings back a small, very unremarkable scroll case. Pops it open, slides out a very old-looking scroll. Again, much like some of the other stuff, it's seen better days. You can see there's like a bit of a coffee stain, where he's probably put down a ceramic mug of coffee somewhere and just forgotten about it. But it looks like it could function.
As you do. So, he opens the case, yes.
Yep, that looks like a scroll of message.
Well, he'll look up how much for the scroll.
The scroll itself will be 15 gold pieces.
Okay. Now I know exactly where my money is this time.
And that should be available in the merchant for you to buy.
Cool.
Is that all the business you had?
Yeah.
Liska's gonna poke her head in. Do you happen to have a scroll or rune of haste?
I think so. And once more you see him kind of shuffle around the back room. hear some more clattering of wood and all sorts of trinkets and other knickknacks that is probably stored there but long forgotten. It's here.
Oh man, immersion.
The Yara just trying to keep a very irresolute, still face. But if you looked at her eyes, it's like, I know the feeling.
And eventually he comes back with another scroll case. This one looks a lot better than a previous one that he sold to you, Dejar. It looks like it was acquired recently. He pops over the top and takes out this very immaculately scrawled scroll. This is a scroll of haste. It was written about 30 years ago now. I've had it with me for quite some time.
Recent. This is a character like, oh my god, that's a while.
Wait, so how much?
Let me check here.
It says the spell scroll 3rd level is 400 gold in his stuff, but it's also, that's just general. Well, there are some 3rd level spells that are 200 gold. That's interesting. So named spells, 3rd level spells are 200, but
So this would
3rd levels are 4?
yeah, this will run you 200 gold.
All right.
That's in the vendor for you there to buy.
Okay, cool. Look at abilities. Okay, she's not even gonna haggle because she doesn't have the charisma. And so
And she's rich as fuck.
that is also true.
He's stacked, so that's like, oh, dive, cool. Drops like thieves.
All right.
Merchant's dream.
Now go off to the potion shop. I'll be heading toward the potion shop, Liska, and then back to the inn a little bit later.
All right. So okay.
No, that was it. I'm just
Okay.
popping medicals.
I suppose what we can do is I'll just make all of the vendors available to you guys, just to prevent this from turning into a shopping episode.
Yep.
I know everyone's enthusiastic to speak to the old ferryman.
Ooh, but there's
Yeah.
many nice things here.
Yeah, but you can all do that after the session. That's what you usually do.
I do. There is something
Sassy.
I wanted Vellum to do while he was about the marketplace.
Yes, you
I've
wanted
got
to look
this
for.
very...
Oh, go.
Oh, not that. That's later. I need funds before I think about finding that. And part of that is I've got a very nice holy symbol I made for no reason. So I don't know this. I don't think Vellum knows it, but I want to try and figure out where the best place to sell something off for the most value might be. Like, do I go to the temple and sell it to the priests there, or would I get more of a profit if I sold it in the market?
It's
kind of thing.
it's essentially a piece of jewelry, isn't it?
It's an obsidian holy symbol of Gonzalo with a blue quartz.
You might have better odds selling it to some sort of jeweler.
I'll try the mainstay jeweler and then try the market, but
Sure.
that'll be my current goal for the moment.
Okay.
You don't have to make a whole roleplay scene out of it unless you really want to, but that's what Vellum's going to be doing
I
to
got you.
help drum up some funds.
I'll say.
Speaking of jeweler,
Wait, go ahead.
I said speaking of jeweler,
Yes.
I want to see if I can find an agate
Agate?
worth at least 1,000 GP.
Oh, okay then. I see what you want it for. Yeah. Okay. I'll say.
You put it to the town with merchants and we've got shit to sell, Jana. I don't know what you expected.
Yeah. I will say probably go ahead and make an investigation check.
Yeah, let's see.
Near him.
Sorry?
Investigation.
Never mind. You were clearly talking to Grunk in my brain.
Yes.
Wished.
Investigation. That's an 8.
You're very out of your depth here. You might have better luck with some help from your friends. I will say that. you hear Grunker's voice from the other side of the bazaar.
Sounds like Grunker.
He's right by your feet. Oh shit, it's Grunk.
Oh, there he is.
Just heal it. You just heal it.
Just a very rapidly approaching and louding.
Grunk is rapidly approaching your location. Well,
Start running.
Hey Grunks, what do you need?
I need help finding a. Grunk pulls out a small piece of paper. A gate worth 1,000 gold.
That is very specific, but
Yes.
I'm sure there's a jewelry store around here. Markets can be cheaper. We'll see what we can find. I've got to actually look around some jewel places myself, so...
Thank you. Yeah. I was talking to Dooley and it was for something she was gonna do for me.
Right, well, let's see where we can find that.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
And is there a dedicated jewelry store? Actually, no, we're in the market. Let's check the bazaar first.
Sure. Go. Because you yourself are a guild artisan, your background feature, and you are trained in jewel crafting, so you know exactly what you're looking for. You know exactly who you're trying to talk to, where you might be able to find such a thing. Go ahead and make me an investigation check with advantage, because of Gronka's help and because of your nature as a merchant and a jewel crafter.
You're
Alrighty.
also a guild artisan, aren't you?
Yeah. I've been blacklisted from the guild I was in, but I'm still a guild up. Alrighty, investigation you said, yeah?
Yes.
With advantage?
Yes.
I have proficiency with that, and it's a +3.
Oh, come
Wow, that
on.
is disappointing.
Wow.
Is the DC lowered to 8?
No.
Hey,
I'll just check, Jenner. What did you expect of me?
Hey, you happen to have the...
I do have a thread of fate. I was hoping to save that for when I was
Yep. You do have a thread of fate if you
trying
want
to
to use
sell
that.
this holy symbol, but I guess I could do this for Gronka. I can always sell it tomorrow when I use the fucking icon of fate again. Yeah, fuck it. I'll do this now. I need time to generate funds anyway, so I will use my icon of fate. Everything blows.
Alright. 17. Better.
So
Better.
Interact with vendors.
You're a little quiet, Atlas. You could.
Sorry,
Yeah, I'm in trouble.
could you let me move a little closer so I can actually interact with vendors?
You should be able to freely move yourself.
Nope, it's in combat.
Weird. If we're in combat? Oh god, what did you do, Grunka?
Which one?
No worries.
Oh damn, the Serpent's Cauldron. That chick is crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? I
All
was
up,
looking
we're
at,
in.
bruh.
Dang.
Oh, she's a witch doctor. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can check it out.
So 17. You just scraped by.
Yay! That was one of my higher rolls.
So, kind of peering through the markets, asking around for someone who might be able to sell some gemstones to you. Most of the information that you gather, lots of you're meant to be wary for fakes, because that can be pretty common in places like this.
Yeah, we don't want costume jewelry.
Yeah. But you do manage to find quite a throughout asking around, you are directed to a small alcove in the very, very backs of the bazaar, where kind of squashed between a number of tents. There is a most polite way I could say a fairly rotund-looking Shah individual. The
Shah the cats, I forget.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's a fat cat. Got it.
He's Chungus.
And he's kind of
Chunky boy.
you can see he's got his he's got a claw up to his teeth, kind of probably cleaning something from his teeth. You can see a pair of very, very large and imposing bodyguards near him, either side. He kind of sees you approach. You can see behind him there are very, very securely locked behind these large rows of cases are just a gleaming array of gemstones. And you gather he's probably set himself up here in this nondescript spot in order to not draw much attention to himself, which is a bit paradoxical considering he's a merchant trying to hawk his wares. But from the information you've gathered, he seems to know his reputation and seems to count on that, and allowing word of mouth to do most of the work for him.
Before we go in, like when we do find the place, I'm just gonna sort of look to Grunka, having realized something. It's like, you're looking for something with that value, yeah? Do you have that much to spend on it?
Grunka brings out his platinum bag of 194.
Well, right then.
Yeah.
And then we go in and all this gets described.
I also have this Grunka brings out a sack of
Grunka,
gold,
richest person in the party.
4,613 gold coins.
Grunka's loaded.
Grunka's one of those billionaires that lives in squalor.
Yeah.
Question. Ulterior motives, because fuck it. Is it just jewels he has? Or does he have other items?
It seems to be mainly sort of cut gemstones, from what you can see.
Okay. Alright, well, we don't have to go through a whole thing, but how much is he selling what Grunka wants for?
He's selling it for 1,200 gold. You can see it's locked up in a small case that he's kept in the back storage, and you can see this glass window on it, which depicts this teardrop shaped this orange teardrop shaped gemstone.
Okay, well, I would like to try and haggle him down at least a little bit.
Alright, go ahead, make a persuasion check.
Can Grunka help?
Sure he could.
Maybe Grunka could say about where he found it and add some flavor to it, and then Bella could be like, hey, this can be your, we want this.
Yeah.
Like, I have money. Anyway, may I get the benefit of help? My brain frazzled for a second and I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Where are you guys currently at?
We're in a very shady place with a fat cat.
Cat is they're also called.
The Shar.
Yep, char.
A
The
shard.
Shar. Not Deja, the Shah.
Char. Yeah,
Easily confused.
basically the Khajiit of Gander's world.
Yeah. So all right. But yeah, Jenner, could if Grunk is helping me, could I get advantage?
Yes.
Alright. That's a
Oh,
27.
27.
There's the
Um,
fucking high rolls. That's not even an advantage. That's it's just a straight 19.
He's going to
I don't
kind
know
of
why I didn't roll advantage.
narrow his eyes towards you.
It's weird sometimes.
He's going to lower that
Develop
to. He's going to lower that to 1,050.
There you go, Grunky, pay the man.
Yeah. Let's see, how much did you say? 1,050?
Yes, 1,050. 1050.
Yes.
Good shit.
And what I'll do,
There you
I'll
go.
just-
You got a reasonable markdown.
I'll create this and make it 10.
1,050.
There we go. It's on the pile there.
Oh. Well. Yeah, let me just remove the gold first.
Right.
We arrived here at like midday, right?
You arrived here at night.
Night.
is-
Oh
it
god,
is-
it took
it
that
is-
much longer after. Okay.
Yeah. You spent 2
What
days
time of
in
night,
the spot. Oh, it's probably early evening.
Okay, I could get some work in before then.
Bear in mind,
Sorry, continue.
you did say to Lali meet her back there in 1 hour at 2 hours. I'll say given all of this time right now,
That'd be the amount of time, yeah.
you've spent at least an hour, kind of making your way around the town, the city rather, and
Making our way downtown.
yeah, walking fast. Rowing
Oh
fast
God,
in this
everything's
case.
lagging. So much lag. What's going on? There we go.
So, what we can do is we can fast forward to you all meeting Talali at the base of the temple, and you can do all your shopping after the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just want that out of the
Right.
way because it seems involved and required rolls.
Any objections?
Nope.
I'm good.
Nope. I'm good.
All right. So eventually, you all gather your things, all the items you've purchased, and you meet Talali back in the temple district. You can see that
Watermelon.
that massive, the massive central ziggurat that dominates the space, looming up ahead, looming above you. You see Talali there, very very patiently waiting, just surrounded by stray dogs, and she's just petting them, rubbing their faces, a couple of belly rubs here and there.
Like fish.
Yeah, playing fetch with a stray bone or so.
Yeah. Gotta be careful with stray bones here, though.
Ah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
gonna say, I hope it doesn't belong to someone that's walking around.
Oh no, my fireball.
You wouldn't find it very humorous.
Oh.
Ooh. At least you didn't tickle
If I everyone take a point of psychic damage.
No, guys.
No,
Real life
What
psychic
I
damage.
do?
not really. Yeah, you all meet up to Talali at the base of this ziggurat. You have a chance to talk, or you can head straight in. Your choice.
Oh, how did your haul go?
Who's this in response to?
Yeah, there's so many
okay,
people.
who
The
you asking?
entire group.
I found a lot of things. A lot of stuff making potions, poisons. I did find some interesting stuff though.
This is gonna hold up 5 things. She's gonna hold up a bottle of, like a pouch of oregano, a bottle of vanilla bean, like a bag of garlic, and like another bottle of peppercorn. She's like, here, use these in food.
Use the shove.
And then she's like, "Oh, in here," and she's gonna pull out a scroll, and it's like, "And I found the scroll of haste."
Oh, okay. Let me just put these all away. Fresh garlic. All right, and let me just. Oh, nice scroll.
Oh, I did also find something interesting. A vial of basilisk blood, which is very interesting. That
Why? I
is-
thought all
take your
things
word
had
for it.
blood.
Basilisk blood? Do you know how hard it is to kill a basilisk? Without turning to
No, I
stone?
haven't done it.
Petrification is a very bad thing. Very bad way to go. That is definitely.
Aha.
Right.
Anyone want a ball of walla?
Just-
Look, it's hard, okay? I'm trying. I'm trying. I can't do some of the sharper consonants with this method, so I'm working on it.
I'm just making fun of Janner. Oh, is that what he was saying for in the beginning? Is that what he was saying in the beginning of Down with the Sickness?
Yeah. Well, what about? Anyway.
Anyways, yeah, so I mean, given how fucking trading works in this in Foundry, I'm just probably gonna throw all this shit on the ground. Anyway, but yeah, Liska has unloaded her thing, and I don't think she has anything else that she needs to give.
All right then. So, as you begin your ascent up the massive stone steps of the Temple of Vanzala, the weight of the Necropolis' ancient power kind of presses down on you from all sides. Each step is broad and steep, carved from the same dark stone that forms the temple itself, worn smooth by countless generations of pilgrims who've walked this path before you. The air itself grows cooler and more still with each step. Those faint cold flames flickering in the braziers, lining the temple, casting these long shadows. You can even see the visages of skulls carved into the stone. Each step, piles upon piles of stylized stone skulls, each ornately decorated with Tahosian patterns. And above you, the towering facade of the temple looms even closer. The massive stone skull gazing down with its hollow eyes, the silent sentinel watching over the city, cascading light down from above. And finally, after tirelessly working your legs, climbing this immense staircase, getting your leg day in effectively, your feet finding purchase on the smooth stone platform before the grand entrance. And you can see the towering archway before you, flanked by statues of more of these long-forgotten guardians. Their forms carved with an artistry that seems to defy the passage of time. The massive stone doors stand open, already open, revealing the darkened interior of the temple beyond.
So always, as they're kind of approaching the doors, now that they're no longer climbing, just gonna wait for everybody to catch their breath, and then kind of looks like, so Grandma is gonna introduce you to Grandma. She'll be here. She'll help you with the temple. And kind of she's better at doing the guiding than I am, since she's been here for quite a long time. And then she's gonna kind of walk a few steps and then kind of turn back around. It's like, me feel it goes without saying, but be respectful when you talk to her. She's perhaps one of the most important people in this city. So, watch your tongues.
Noted.
Okay.
Then she will continue towards the open doors.
All right. You step inside. The cold, still air of the temple surrounds you, carrying the scent of incense and aged stone. Incense is very much a common scent around here in the capital of Banzold. The light from the braziers outside barely penetrates the gloom, casting the chamber in these deep shadows. Your footsteps echo through this vast space as you move deeper into it. The oppressive silence only broken by the occasional soft rustling of robes and distant murmurs of voices. This is an antechamber, a grand hall, with its ceiling rising high above, supported by massive stone columns intricately carved with skeletal visages, each one reaching out towards another much grander door on the other side of the hall, as if the entire chamber was designed to funnel its very architecture to that one doorway. The walls are adorned with more carvings depicting Banzala in his many forms, guiding souls across the boundaries of life and death. The floor is smooth, cold, inlaid with more patterns carved from obsidian and gold. As your eyes adjust to the dim light, you notice the figures standing. You notice a number of figures standing in a semicircle at the far end of the chamber. A group of witch priests and shamans, their forms draped in flowing robes of black, blue, gold, and purple. Their faces obscured by elaborate masks adorned with feathers, bones, and precious stones. Each of them holds a staff or ritual implement. And they've been patiently waiting. It seems you are expected.
We have not made a good impression. It's like, yes, they finally arrived in the city, and then we fuck off to to the markets while they're waiting.
The witch priests and shamans remain silent as you approach, their eyes hidden behind their masks, seemingly fixated on you with an intensity that's palpable. The only sound is the faint whispering of the flames that line the chamber, the cold light reflecting off the polished stone floor. And you start to notice, particularly you, Talali, this low resonant hum in the air. Something alien to you all except you, Talali.
Yeah, Talali's going to she's so used to it, she doesn't give it a second thought about how it might be unsettling for others, but yeah, she's gonna walk up to the group like, we brought the adventurers, as expected. They here to speak with Grandma.
Place. So, the gathered shamans and priests kind of look to each other, and then behind them, and then they part way for a figure. And you see a 4-foot diameter stone dais that floats about 3 feet from the ground. As the stone dais kind of glides forward, you see an ancient figure seated cross-legged on a bed of marigolds. Marigold petals. You all take a look at her. This is quite possibly the oldest human you have ever seen in your lives. Her frail body is almost swallowed by the flowing robes that she wears, woven in intricate patterns of, again, similar colour scheme: black, orange, blue, gold. The fabric kind of drapes around her, pooling at the base of the floating stone disc, which is itself adorned with vibrant marigold petals. Her face is deeply lined with age, each wrinkle telling a story of countless years lived. You can see bright, sharp eyes that peer up from beneath a headdress adorned with black and golden feathers, and jaws that catch the flickering light. Despite her frailty, there is a powerful presence about her, an aura of ancient wisdom and deep connection to the spirits and to Banzala himself. And in one hand she holds this simple, elegant staff made of dark wood, adorned with petals and small charms, her voice raspy with age. Angus.
Yes.
The moment you feel yourself in her presence, there is a powerful and familiar sensation that washes over you. You've always been Not quite.
Sorry.
You've always been attuned to the divine light within others, like a resonant aura you've sensed. Like the resonant aura you sensed in Dengar Runemore, the master runesmith of Doonhollow, whose divine potency was palpable. But this is something very different. The divine power emanating from this ancient figure is overwhelming, tenfold what you've ever experienced. And with your
intense, palpable aura,
there is some sort of divine power within her.
That's why she said she's powerful and to be respectful.
Grandma got some mad divine power.
Was not exaggerating.
With your keen insight, you recognize what this means. This is no ordinary priestess. The depth of her connection to the divine, the sheer magnitude of her power, it all points to one thing. You are standing before the head of the Banzalan priesthood, the highest authority in this place. Her eyes kind of move slowly across each of you, taking in the unfamiliar the unfamiliar faces with a discerning gaze, and then, with a very shaky effort, she leans forward on her dais, her frail form appearing even smaller as she squints her tiny beady eyes. For a moment she seems to be searching for something, kind of smacking her toothless gum in thought. And then, seemingly as if just not seen Talali there in front of her for a moment. Alright, her face lights up with this look of recognition, and her features softening into this warm, toothless smile. Talali, oh, come here. She chuckles, her voice cackling with age, but bringing with warmth, and she extends her robed arms, just inviting you into a familiar embrace.
Well, yeah, obviously, goes and hugs her.
You kind of have to hop up onto a dais to do so, but
yeah. She's a monk. She can do that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gets up and gives her a long, lingering hug. Like, it's be good to see you again, Grandma.
Oh, it's been a good long couple of years since I last saw you. And she just plants a big old grandma kiss in your cheek. Wrinkled lips, soft and warm. Oh, yeah, look at your girl. Nothing but skin and bones, eh? She kind of fusses around you, her ancient hands kind of patting your shoulders.
I be eating well enough, Grandma. They have a good cook amongst them.
Oh, yeah, these must be the fins you did be talking about. You made them during your trials, eh?
Yeah, he met them on the road, and turns out that they have a quest to speak with Banzala.
Ah, I see. Don't tell me. I think I remember the names. The old ferryman been whispered. She kind of squints at each of you in turn. Her ancient eyes kind of twinkling with mischief and warmth as she attempts to seemingly recall your names. Guncrow, was it? No, wait. Glinka.
It'd be Grunka, Grandma.
Oh, my dear, forgive me. My memory and what it used to be. You must be an Riska. No, I had Liskal. Yeah, close enough. Close enough.
Yeah, the names be hard in the common tongue, but this is Liska, giantess mountain folk from Ragnarok. This here big Ranka, they didn't explain exactly what it was, but I hear them talking about a deep link.
Oh, me thought you were a goblin.
No, apparently that she kind of leans in, says this in Tanzine, but like, no, apparently that's an insult to them. There's been bad blood.
Oh, my apologies. That must be.
It's fine. It's complicated.
That must be angler. No, that don't sound right. Ingress.
No, he's the angler. And points back to Grunter. I'm the cook.
Oh, you've been feeding my little my. She kind of zones out for a moment.
Yes. She's eating well.
It's like, so this is, and you remember, Grandma, this year being Angus, dwarven cleric from Mainland. He's very strong in his ways, and he has a craftsman's hands. This is Sao Yun. She an orc from the desert sands. Keen insight and intelligence. This here be Dejar. Snake folk, very talented in the ways of weaving magic. And that there is Vellum. He be a craftsman true and true. And quite possibly one of the luckiest individuals I've known.
This is my daughter Vadmir.
Oh, I forgot Vadmir was here with us.
that's why I interjected.
Yeah.
And plus, it gives Bellum a chance to be proud papa.
Oh, look at you! You're being a right sweetest thing. She seems to instantly grow some sort of affection to Vadmir.
Look at her.
Vadmir kind of waves her hand shyly as she looks out from behind you. Oh, I've never seen one of your type before. What do we from the first Ragnarok? Long ways away. Cedar, that it be. You must forgive me, been a long time since I remember so many names at once. Old Grandma's been doing her best, though.
I was gonna say something and then I choked on my own throat.
There you go. But,
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Did that come through?
Yep. She gives you a respectful nod. She's been sort of as you've been each introduced, she's been kind of clasping your each of your hands in hers, all kind of bony, wrinkly hands.
So bony, they stabbed me through the gauntlet.
Yep.
She kind of thinks to herself for a moment. You'll be in the presence of her eyes kind of narrow in thought as she scratches her head with a bony finger. It's been so long now. He used to call me. And it trails off, mumbling to herself. 20. No, that's
The death speaker Tawani.
Dead speaker to one. Don't matter now much, does it? Our folks around here just call me Grandma. Been so long since anyone used my real name. And hardly remember it myself.
And at that, when she says like everybody calls me Grandma, like Tlali gives like a very sharp look at the group, like you better fucking call her Grandma.
Okay, I was about to say, is that the do it or don't do it glare?
Like, Jar's heads up, like, okay.
Okay, Grandma. Grandma has no teeth, right?
No teeth. In fact, let me go ahead and give you an image in the party chat. A bit clearer.
Oh, wow.
He's going. He's gonna
Hello.
reach into his bag, and from their visit time with good old boat guy, he's gonna bring out a little piece of like honeyed milk chocolate and hold it out. Can I share with you? It melts in your mouth.
She blinks for a moment, and then just this wrinkly smile creeps across the face. Oh, you'll be so kind. Thank you, child. And she kind of a shaky hand takes it from your grasp, and and there's this awkward period of just her going.
Old person mouth noises.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
You've doomed the thing.
Yeah, what were the
She's going to
originals?
do that for the next 7 hours.
It's in a little caramel wrapper. Angus has to separate it from one of those little strawberry candies.
So, yeah, me here to see Banzala. Hmm?
Smacking on his own piece of chocolate. Yup. Yeah, you see, Grandma, he's got he's taking care of one of my friends. And I was hoping to come meet him and talk about that. My buddy Brony.
She kind of thinks for a moment, still sucking on that Werther's original. We think we hear something about a Bran from old Mr. Bones himself. Yeah, talk to him every day, child. He'd be like a close friend, whispering secrets and guidance in my ear. He'll always be watching over us, even if you can't see him. But me feel his presence in every breath I take.
Nods.
So, you got anything else you want to see him for? Kind of looks around the rest of the party.
Jared, basically just raises her hand a bit. Like, I would like him to help me with a curse I have. Well, yeah, I have marked carvings on my bones that I can't get rid of. I was hoping he could help me with that. Along with some questions about just kind of scratches her neck a bit about a certain individual's history. He might know him not so fondly. I need to find out some information about him.
Alright. Well,
Out of character, we are here for the tablet as well, right? The tablet was traded to Banana Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to you to say.
Yeah, I was about to jump in with that, but anyway, you were gonna respond, Jenner. Go ahead.
well, me hopes you got something to give me in return. You don't be asking the ferryman favors and expect him to give them to you for free. Me hope you come prepared.
I came prepared as I ever could be, Grandma.
Very well. I suppose you mustn't keep him waiting then. The ferryman don't like to get waiting, no sir. Let's get you to the throne room. Quick now. She gives Talali a fond look, her wrinkled smile kind of breaking into her wrinkled face breaking into a warm smile. Oh, and while you're in here, I brew up some gumbo, You look like you could do us with a good meal, child.
Of course, Grandma.
Nothing like
You know
a
I always
better,
love your gumbo.
nothing like a better grandma's old family recipe to put some meat on them bones.
First.
She's gonna turn to get to the other priests with a gentle nod, their voice taking on a more serious tone now. Come now, this way. It's not dawdle. The throne room be waiting. You'll be Banzala. Open up the doors, please. We got some important guests here. In a creak and a rumble, the grand doors slowly part, revealing a dark, ancient hallway.
I thought it was creaking when she moved.
Well, that too.
That's what we think it is, and then it's just the door. It's like, oh.
Oh, me back!
She's not villain.
Alright, so guiding you all to the grand doorway. The air within is cool and still, with a flickering light from the braziers barely illuminating the stone walls, which are intricately carved with again this constant theming here, scenes depicting the journey of the souls through the afterlife, particularly across and through waterways. The hallway slopes gently downwards, spiraling into the depths of the temple. An almost fractal sense from what you got from the main temple entrance above. Grandma Tuani hovers forward on her floating stone disc, her cane guiding her path, and she gestures for you all to follow. Talali falls into step beside her. But
I was gonna say, since she's no longer the one that's guiding the group, she's gonna fall back behind him and let them go ahead of her.
And Grandma insists that you sit upon her dais.
Grandma, there's no need be playing favorites.
Oh no, you come back here for after a couple of years. Come on, let's spend some time with old Grandma.
I sure. And she just climbs up to sit on it. There's a small bony woman still takes up good room, so she's just gonna
On the edge.
always gonna sit her butt on the edge.
Yeah.
You don't argue with Grandma.
You don't backtalk Grandma.
Whack! The chocolate comes flying.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
so she's just gonna sit on the edge of the disc.
The faint sound of your footsteps and hoofsteps and the scale slithering across the stone floor kind of echoes off the walls as this eerie, reverent atmosphere envelops you. All around you are carvings of spiraling rivers and waterways that follow your descent downwards. And as you continue to descend, the spiral gradually widens and the air grows thick with that familiar sense of ever-present incense and ancient stone. The path ends before a pair of enormous, dark, golden doors, covered in intricate engravings of skulls and spirits, all entwined in a dance of life and death. The designs seem to pulse with a faint light, as if the very essence of the afterlife is embedded within the metal. And then, with a gentle wave of her cane, Grandma commands the doors to open, and they part slowly, with a heavy groan of ancient hinges, revealing the chamber beyond. There we go. Let me go ahead and bring you over. That's not the... Oh no, I've lost my notes. Oh dear. So, as you step into the grand, colossal chamber at the heart of this underground temple city, there we go. There's this overwhelming silence that envelopes you, broken only by the soft echoes of your steps against the cold stone floor. The air here is dense with the weight of centuries. The chamber is vast, its high vaulted ceiling stretching into the darkness, far beyond the reach of your light. The walls are adorned with large, stylized masks carved from dark stone, their features twisted into solemn, haunting expressions. These masks, echoing the ancient designs of the Tosian dynasty, kind of gaze down upon you with hollow eyes. At the far end of the chamber, the throne itself commands your attention, rising from a raised platform like a monolith of authority, carved from a dark obsidian-like stone. The throne is an imposing structure, its surface intricately carved with scenes that depict various types of stylized skulls. The back of the throne towers high, surrounded by these strange these strange stone statues of hounds, but not the hounds that you've seen gathering around Twilight, but you could the ones that you saw taking the very souls of those reavers back in the Tanzan plains, but carved from dark obsidian, emblazoned with gold. You can see the throne's armrests are shaped like skeletal hands, gripping the stone as if holding the weight of all the souls of the Tosian dynasty. Flanking at the centre of the chamber's floor lies a large circular portal, a whirlpool of swirling purple and black energy as it pulses with an otherworldly power, its surface rippling as though alive, like a vortex of liquid energy descending into some sort of abyss. The portal's eerie glow has this is flickering shadows that dance around the walls and masks. Here we go. Let's bring you all over to make sure I've got this all set up.
Our time in the bone zone was brief.
The combat man.
The inevitable combat. I'm sure everything will be fine and we won't have to fight at all.
You'll be okay.
Oh wow.
The air
The
is
particles.
you can see the familiar wisps of spectral blue energy descend from the unseen heights of the chamber, swirling in a pillar of cold light. Some of these wisps are consumed by the braziers of the blue flames that line the chamber, their ethereal forms flickering out of existence, while others are drawn into the portal's current, descending in and disappearing into the depths. The air is thick with a... Go ahead. Sorry, so, you want to say something?
No, I'm just lagging super hard and that was not actually any noise. Continue.
The air is thick with ghostly fog swirling around your feet. And from above, delicate orange petals swiftly gently drift down. Their origin, seemingly a mystery. Seemingly suspended in time, descending slowly. This is the throne of Banzala, a place of judgment and power, where the veil between life and death is at its thinnest here in Tanzia, and where the presence of Banzala, the ferryman of souls, is said to be strongest. Here, in this chamber, is where the fate of souls is decided, and you can definitely feel the echoes of the past linger in every shadow. Granny Grandma kind of hovers behind you for a moment at the entrance to the door. Well, this be where I leave you. I hope your talk goes well.
Yes. Thank you for bringing us in here.
She gives
Thanks, Grandma.
She gives you a respectful nod, and with a tap of her cane against the dais, the doors begin to close. And as the doors close, she says, "Don't worry. The ferryman appears when he chooses to. You got some things to work out. He'll be nearby." As you are left in this chamber, what would you like to do?
Wonder if we're going over. Because we are sadly at time.
Oh, yes.
I caused us to delay. If it's okay with others, I'm okay if we go a little bit more.
Yeah,
I know others have their...
I'm leaving it up to everyone
I
because
know
I
you
don't know
wanted to
Jenner.
do something, John, but I don't know if we're doing it.
we could leave off on a narrative note, I think. But
Yeah,
yep,
I mean, it
you're
seems
free
narrative.
free to explore the chamber right now.
If I can move.
I move. Impulse.
There you go. Try now.
Well, it's more because of the effects making me lag than any actual ability of me not moving.
Oh,
There we
hang
go.
on.
I can sort of move.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll get rid of all the weapons.
It's got fire, it's got lights, it's got swirls, it's got petals, it's got smoke.
I mean, it is
Jenner said,
foreboding.
you know what? I'm a stress test everyone's PCs. Let's go.
Your thoughts?
Oh, this is a fucking peak.
We're all wandering around,
You can also
hopefully.
check the ambient map, the ambient image if you click on the magnifying glass.
Yeah, the bones are.
Yeah, that's. Hate the fact that you beat me to that.
You gotta be quicker.
So Liska's gonna look around and just like kind of casually like. So So are we just waiting in the room?
Seems
Yeah.
like it.
I'm
That
guessing.
seems to be the case. He comes and goes as he pleases, as the stories say. The priestess said so, so I have to wait on him.
Ah. Well, it's an impressive vortex, I'll give you that.
Oh god, I know where this is going, Grunka, please.
I wonder how many souls pass through that in a
Not
day.
yet.
Here comes the fishing rod. Sorry, I just had a moment I saw Grunka scurrying past me towards it very quickly, and I'm like, oh no.
If only.
Oh, you're not gonna try fishing in the soul vortex?
I don't know if it counts as water.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
It's a
He needs-
pool, and it swirls.
Well, you know,
Uh,
maybe at some point.
The soul fish.
Exactly.
the most rarest fish, the soul fish.
It's rare because you have to fish in literal souls. Damn
Chilling
it,
in front of
Chris.
the throne.
Yeah, I'll hang out around there too once I can move the map. There we go.
Probably drag Sayun all the way over there as well. So.
Yeah, this is as far as I'm going, and goddamn, some of those skulls. Like this dude on the left.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
see
this
you can see
entire map is just fucking brilliant.
you can see many carved skulls from a mixture of obsidian and stone. Each of them elegantly gilded with patterns of gold.
Well, all explored, and now we play the waiting game.
All right. He waits
I'll
here.
think anyone's. Do.
Oh.
Put in
Oh dear. It's breaking up.
I think Discord is acting a little funky wonky there.
Doesn't happen for
him.
me.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
fine for
they're
me,
the
but
dogs.
yep.
You wait here patiently in the cold, still air of the chamber. What feels like an eternity. One
Are we
minute.
early?
I don't think so.
It's then that you feel the atmosphere in the chamber seems to shift as a voice reverberates through the chamber. A deep, resonant rumble that seems to echo through the very bones of the earth.
So, the bold adventurers come wandering to the lands of seeking the ferryman himself.
That was a little poppy. Did anyone else catch what he said?
I didn't get any of that.
Yeah, it was like rapid pops.
Sorry,
You're clipping hard.
Okay.
So, the bold adventurers come wandering to the lands of Tantia, seeking the ferryman himself.
Yes.
Aye, we're seeking you.
You turn around,
Oh.
kind of looking for this source of the voice. And you see Talali. Her familiar spectral arms are manifested, massive and powerful. Wrought in obsidian and adorned with intricate gold filigrees, the spectral energy curls up her shoulders and around her torso to form this thick, muscular torso, marked with gold patterns and ancient tattoos, their design shifting and shimmering as if alive. You don't plainly see her face. Her eyes and mouth beam with a ghostly blue light. Surrounding her head is the visage of a grinning skull, majestic and terrifying, manifested around her head. The skull is crowned with a tall, intricate headdress made of gold, black metal, and feathers that stretch upwards in a display of power and authority.
Yet every day I get visitors from far-off lands. Consider me
Talali's mouth moves, that's not her voice.
I fucking called it!
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Talali steps forward, her footsteps echoing in the vast chamber as she approaches the throne of Banzala. With a calm yet purposeful motion, she turns around and sits upon the throne. Her form dwarfed by the imposing structure. As soon as she settles, shadows begin to swirl around her, and her spectral form dark and heavy, as if drawn from the deepest corners of the room. Ethereal blue energy crackles to life, dancing around the edges of the shadows that wreath her. And from this maelstrom of shadow and light, her spectral form swells and becomes more corporeal, swallowing up her figure within it. The shadows wrap themselves around her legs, solidifying into strong, imposing limbs. An ornate kilt, rich with detail and colour, forms around the figure's hips, completing the image of a very well decorated figure. A towering entity emerges from the billowing black energy as it disperses, and then, without warning, two blazing lights burst alight. Twin orbs, blazing fire that pierces the darkness. Transformation is complete, and where once Talali sat, now stands the fearsome visage of a tall, muscular, obsidian gold figure. An ancient warrior king. Banzala, the ferryman of souls, given form by his avatar, a chosen mortal intermediary. The shadows in the chamber gather with purpose, slithering towards Banzala like serpents made from darkness. One tendril of shadow rises, hissing as it twists and coils, its form warping into an upright shape. And from this shadowy mass a grotesque maw opens, regurgitating a skull that forms the head of a cane. Banzala grasps it, and the chamber seems to bow to his presence, the shadows retreating as their master stands tall. And we'll end it there. You now stand before
Well done.
Everyone.
Banzala, the ferryman of souls, death god of Tanzia.